Order of the day.
Interrupted debate on the Prime Minister's statement.
Member Alfred Naro was speaking when the debate was interrupted. He has 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I start first by acknowledging you, Mr. Speaker, in your new illustrious role, and I, like many of your colleagues, we wish you well on this journey of leadership. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues who have had promotions in the caucus and government and wish you well in your prospective roles, and also want to thank my other colleagues, the Honourable Kate Wilkinson and the Honourable Phil Heatley, for your fine leadership and service to the government and, most importantly, the people of New Zealand. New Zealand is a good place to be in 2015. We might feel we're doing it hard in New Zealand, but not only is it one of the best places in the world to be born in 2013, but we're also well positioned for the mega shifts taking place between now and 2050. Mr. Speaker, these are the words from the executive editor of The Economist, Mr. Daniel Franklin, who spoke at a conference last year and ended his speech by saying that with good management and the right policies, New Zealand could come through the current period of turbulent change in good shape. Dr. Franklin's comments of good management and right policies affirms the inspiring vision of the national government and the responsible and astute leadership of our Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John Key.
Order. There's too much background noise. Those who want to have private conversations, please do so outside the chamber. I call the Honourable Member Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dr. Franklin's comments of good management and right policies affirms the inspiring vision of the national government and the responsible and astute leadership of our Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John Key. The government has 4 key priority areas. Firstly, to responsibly manage the government's finances. That means living within our means. Jacqueline Ireland, the Chief Executive of Colmar Brunson, commented, "I believe that the recession and its aftermath have forced many businesses to look at their costs and rethink their strategy. And those that made good decisions are now stronger, leaner, faster, and more productive and more agile." It also means New Zealand earning a living, being sensible with taxpayers' money. Mr. Speaker, conversations from the beaches and camping grounds from the far north during the holidays to South Auckland communities and marketplaces, people just want to know that we are being fair and just as a government. In fact, in a conversation with a leader of the Pacifica community, he said to me, "Alfred, we don't want handouts. All we ask for is opportunity, and we'll do the rest. We'll work hard." They did ask me, Mr. Speaker, why the focus on the economy and making money as a priority was so important to this government. A very good question. I simply replied that we use other words in our communities instead of the word economy, which have the same meaning, such as prosperity. In other words, the opportunity to provide for your family, to feed and clothe them, and to help them sustain the quality of life we have come to enjoy in this country. Most importantly, it will help us pay our way in this country and in this world. They got it, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, another key priority is to push ahead with the wide-ranging program of reforms to create a more productive and competitive economy. Albert Brantley, Chief Executive of Genesis Energy, comments, "While the New Zealand economy has faced significant pressure over the past few years, I'm cautiously optimistic that this year we will begin to see an increase in business confidence, which confirms Treasury's half-year economic update of the economy growing at a rate of 2.5% over the next 3 years. The third key strategy, Mr. Speaker, is to drive better results and better value for money from public services. And here are just some of the targets. In justice sector, this will mean 45,000 fewer crimes, 7,500 fewer violent crimes, and 600 fewer young people appearing in court each year from 2017. Also 600 extra police on the front line. Education targets, Mr. Speaker, 98% of all school entrants having participated in early childhood education by 2016, and 85% of all 18-year-olds having achieved NCA Level 2 or an equivalent qualification by 2017. Targets for social development. We began implementing our reform of the welfare system to bring about an unrelenting focus on work, including greater work obligations for beneficiaries and more support to help people into work through a fairer welfare system. And health targets, Mr. Speaker, more operations now at record levels, 35,000 more patients get elective treatment a year under National than under Labour. Elective surgery volumes have been increasing on average by around 8,000 patients a year over the last few years. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, our fourth key strategy is to support the rebuilding of Christchurch. As the Prime Minister said in his speech, out of adversity comes opportunity. And as Christchurch is an area where $30 billion will be spent over the course of the next few years, this is an excellent opportunity for the whole of New Zealand to support its redevelopment. One of those opportunities is our commitment to train more New Zealanders in vocational careers, particularly important as the rebuild of Christchurch pushes forward. Colin James commented, "The most important aspect of 2013 will be the importance of jobs and bridging the gap between education and employment. And this affects all of us, Mr. Speaker, in our families and even in our communities. So what is this government doing? It's boosting skills and supporting jobs. There is big opportunity in New Zealand over the next few years, particularly with the rebuilding of Christchurch, to train more New Zealanders in vocational careers that will set them up well for their futures." Mr. Speaker, I was privileged a week ago to attend a celebration for Pacifica's success in education and the Wellington launch of the Pacific Education Plan with the Minister, the Honourable Hekia Parata, and colleague Pesita Sam Lotuinga at the Efekasa Church in Porirua. While there, Mr. Speaker, a young Samoan woman got up and said this: "I don't like being called underprivileged because I am privileged to have supportive parents. I am privileged to have great opportunities in this country of New Zealand to be able to succeed." She went on to say that this year she's going on to Victoria University, and through that, if she gains a B average, then she'll be successful in a scholarship heading towards Scotland to the world leading university in opera. Mr. Speaker, there were also the Tau brothers, who were twins, shared their story of principles of success. And Mafutanga, one of the youngest ones, said this: "I want to be fast like Usain Bolt. So my principle for success is dream, believe, achieve." Mr. Speaker, in our communities, our young people are looking for these opportunities. And what's the opportunity for success is the attitude. So, Mr. Speaker, as a government, we're meeting this attitude of success. We've launched 5 new vocational pathways that clearly signpost the subjects that young people should take to prepare for vocational careers in construction, manufacturing, the primary sector, the service sector, and the social services. There will be over 4,000 places available in trades and services academies and around 8,700 youth guarantee places. We're also revitalising the industry training to ensure people who have the right skills and training, and that our system is responsive to trainees and employers. We're particularly focused on increasing opportunities for in-work training for all Kiwis by expanding and improving our apprenticeship training system. Mr. Speaker, this system around apprenticeship and being a tradesman and coming through apprenticeships, I see the importance. I've worked with tertiary organisations like Unitec and MIT, and see the importance that these schemes and these scholarships have to young people in our communities, Mr. Speaker. And this is absolutely meeting a need and as relevant for young people and families that we're experiencing every day as constituents in our communities. Mr. Speaker, we'll also our changes will include that from the 1st of January 2014, we'll combine modern apprenticeships and other apprenticeship type training under an expanded and improved scheme called New Zealand Apprenticeships. These new apprenticeships will provide the same level of support and subsidy for all apprentices, regardless of their age. We're boosting overall apprenticeships funding. The current top-up for modern apprenticeships will be redistributed across all New Zealand apprentices as an extension to their learning subsidy in addition. Overall subsidy payments will be increased by around $12 million in the first year, rising over time. Increased funding for apprenticeships will allow industry training and organisations to invest in quality education for apprentices, lower fees for employers, and encouraging apprenticeships with growth. We're boosting the educational content of apprenticeships. At a minimum, they will require a program of 120 credits, resulting in a level 4 qualification. We're setting clearer roles and performance expectations for ITOs and giving employers other options if the ITOs don't perform. We're lifting the profile and participation in apprenticeships by giving the first 10,000 new apprentices who enrol after the 1st of April this year, 1,000 towards their tools and jobs, of course. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Just this month, The Economist magazine had New Zealand ranked 6th overall on a measure of the health of society, from economic indicators such as innovation to social ones such as inequality and crime. Mr. Speaker, it's clear to say this: the world is full of opportunities for New Zealand over the next few years, and we need to seize those opportunities with both hands. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call the honourable member